I've been in Guangzhou for half a month and haven't found a job. I'm about to break down. I thought I could be picky and easily find a decent job in this city. Now I'll be satisfied with any job that brings me some income. You may not believe it, but in Guangzhou there are actually many delivery men who sleep under bridges. To save money, they don't rent places and live outdoors. When waking up, they deliver food just to save money to support their family. If not forced by life, who would be willing to live such a wandering life? As China's economy continues to decline, unemployment is becoming an increasingly serious problem. Some people are unemployed and don't want their families to know, so they pretend to go to work every day and spend the whole day in the library, Starbucks, etc. Unemployed white-collar workers have a hard time, and life is even harder for lower-class people. In big cities like Guangzhou and Shanghai, some workers set up tents and lived under bridges or footbridges to save on rent. After being exposed by the media, they were cleared out by the authorities. Let's talk about related topics today. But before we do, we would like to invite you to subscribe. Your support is our greatest motivation and allows us to bring you more valuable content. Now, moving on. Recently, there's been a lot of grief online, with many Chinese netizens complaining that they are unemployed and cannot find a job. Some netizens wrote, "I have been unemployed for 4 months. Many people around me who are still working are afraid to quit their jobs no matter how hard or tired they are." A comment says, "I'm 37 years old and I've been unemployed for 3 years. When I was unemployed the first year, I kept looking for a job. Then I was told I was too old almost everywhere, and now I gave up and returned to my hometown and lie flat there." Some netizens said, "I can't find a job even in Shanghai." Let me tell you about the current employment situation in Shanghai. I resigned at the end of July 2024 and have not found a job until now. Doesn't it sound outrageous? I have worked as a financial director in a well-known company for 7 years and led a small team of 7 people. I can't find a job now. Is there something wrong with me? I tell you, it's really not my problem, but the current employment situation is too harsh. I started checking job search websites at the end of August. So far, I think there are only 20 to 30 jobs suitable for me. The key is that more than half of the recruitment information has not been updated for 4 or 5 months. How good was the recruitment market in the past? The fastest time to start work is 3 days. The worst time is half a month. Now I have revised my resume again and again, exaggerated the working experience, and downgraded the salary requirement again and again. But the result is, when I put it in the job market, even if I take the initiative to contact 100 people in charge, only 3 or 5 would reply. Many people asked me if I was anxious about not being away from work for so long. Actually, I was not anxious at the beginning, but now I am really a little anxious. However, when I think about the current market, it's useless for my anxiety. Employers nowadays not only measure your education, experience, marital status, and age, but also require perfection before they will consider you. The key is that they will keep lowering your salary. Netizen Xiao Yu lamented that it's very difficult for college graduates without family connections to find jobs. I'm really about to collapse. Is it so difficult for college students to find jobs nowadays? Are students without family support really, as it's said, that graduation means unemployment? Only after I graduated from college did I realize that students with bachelor's degrees are everywhere, so many of them. Today is July 21st, 2024. It has been more than half a month since I left university. I rented a small room outside. Every day I submitted my resume on several recruitment websites, but all of them were like stones falling into the sea, with very few replies. When I finally got a few interviews, I was always rejected for various reasons, such as lack of experience, wrong major, or too fierce competition. These reasons are like a mountain pressing down on me and making it hard for me to breathe. I kept lowering my expectations, but still couldn't find a suitable job. Seeing that my classmates around me had found their jobs one by one, I became more and more anxious. There are 6 people in the dormitory. Students with good family support found ideal jobs through connections as soon as they graduated, while I'm still running around. Is it true that there is no future for college students without any background? This man suggested that graduates try survival jobs first when professional jobs are unavailable.
现在找不到你自己心仪的工作的话，然后你又很焦虑，你可以先找一份咱们的服务员，
If you are very anxious because of no professional jobs, you can work as a waiter or a milk tea shop clerk first, for their average salary is around $600. If you have no money, you can use this way to survive, which can make you less anxious. I was thinking the same way as you before. I went to Guangzhou to look for a job for 1 month with $700 in my pocket, and I didn't find one. With 270 left, I turned to Shenzhen. If I still can't find a job in Shenzhen, I am willing to work as a waiter or a security guard, right? Even if I worked as a milk tea shop clerk for like 3 to 4 months, I could save some money and then continue to pursue my goals.
存一点钱，然后呢，再继续去追寻自己的目标。
As for many unemployed white collars, they don't want their families to be aware of the situation, so they go to Starbucks, order a coffee, and surf the internet for the whole day. Some people go to the library every day and pretend to go to work. Some pay about $10 to stay at some study rooms for the whole day. And also, some people go to the gym with their working briefcase.
最近假装上班的人越来越多了。
Recently, those pretending to go to work are more and more. Groups of unemployed people run to the library and sit there from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. They sit with a laptop in front of them all day. Amid the wave of unemployment, libraries have become invisible workplaces. To maintain the illusion of daily life and avoid worrying families, libraries are crowded on weekdays.
图书馆也是人满为患。
今天来到广州图书馆，看看广州图书馆的面貌，看看里面。
Today, I went to Guangzhou Library to see what it looks like, if there are any handsome men and pretty women inside, and what they are doing. Are they reading seriously, studying, or sleeping? Are they dating there? When I came in, I saw many people playing with their phones or sleeping. Most people in this area, as you can see now, are studying hard, and some are watching movies on their laptops. Basically, people sitting on the sofa are sleeping, or playing with their cell phones, or something like that, and very few people are studying or reading. Everyone is sleeping soundly, so I won't disturb them. This is the real situation of Guangzhou Library. Every time I come here, I see many people sleeping here.
不打扰他们了。这是真实的广州图书馆现状啊！每一次来都看到很多人在这边睡觉。
Recently, a recruitment notice has been circulating on the Chinese internet. The content of the Pretend to Work Company Limited recruitment is, if you are unemployed and want to hide it from your family, you can work in our company. The company has no business. You can sign up to pretend to work. The company provides 1. Workstations, which are convenient for you to play with your phone, with dedicated personnel patrolling to give a working atmosphere. 2. Work that you can refuse at will, and you can even throw the proposals on my desk. $4 fees a day, meals included. Apply quickly. The notice sparked heated discussion online. Netizens praised this approach, saying, "You pay $4 a day, get a box lunch, a workstation, free internet access, and air conditioning, which could be used as an internet cafe or a study room, and you don't have to worry about running into acquaintances or relatives anymore, nor do you need to worry about having nowhere to go. How nice. Good idea." In first-tier cities such as Guangzhou and Shenzhen, which are relatively prosperous, many unemployed young people have to sleep under footbridges and live a hard life because they have no money for rent. See, these are unemployed young people in Guangdong. Sometimes they rely on picking up waste to sell for food.
东桥洞下住着这么一群年轻流浪汉。
There is a group of young homeless people living under the bridge in Guangdong. They have no fixed jobs. Living under the bridge, they refuse to leave despite persuasion because once they leave, they will face high living costs such as rent, water, electricity, and food. When they were hungry, they would gather together to cook noodles, but there wasn't even a single vegetable in the noodles. Sometimes they do some live streaming, dreaming of when it's their turn to get rich and powerful, but most of the time they can only make ends meet by picking up scraps. I didn't expect there would still be so many young homeless people in this peaceful and prosperous time.
还有这么多年轻的流浪者。
Besides the youth who can't find jobs, those living under the bridges include some unemployed and in-debt middle-aged people, as well as delivery boys, couriers, and street vendors. Many people don't even have tents and quilts and are short of food and clothing. They all cannot afford the rent. The rent in Guangzhou is $140 per month, while their monthly salary is only $410. Living under a bridge can save them $1,400 a year. Other than sleeping under bridges, some people sleep in parks, internet cafes, or on the streets so they don't have to pay for the rental and utilities. Here are the people sleeping under the bridge in Shenzhen. There are more than a dozen people sleeping under this bridge, and all of them are under 30 years old. Sleeping in a tent in this narrow bridge hole is neither airy nor ventilated. There are many mosquitoes during the day and many bugs at night. Xiao Shu, an unemployed young man, said that a large number of factories in Kunshan had closed down, and workers who were unwilling to leave the city had to do odd jobs to make a living. However, there were fewer odd jobs this year, and the daily wages have dropped to $18. They have to live under bridges and suffer from hunger and cold. He said, "Now we are all living in a bridge hole, 20 people living together. The weather is unbearable. We can't stand it. We have tents, but there is too few quilts and clothes. There is no job. We are all homeless and unemployed for 3 years. I can't find a job. No one wants me. I also want to do delivery but don't have an electric bicycle. I'm too poor to buy one." Wow, what a strong smell. There really is someone living there. They renovated it using boards and live in it. It's full. Look at the ground. They use firewood to cook and it's all locked. They covered it with boards and lived in it. These are all their daily necessities, all locked up. In a park in Guangdong, several unemployed young people lived in the park and slept on park benches but were driven away by several policemen and were not allowed to live there. These people's clothes are hung on the trees in the park after being washed. In major cities such as Guangzhou and Shanghai, people who slept under bridges were also driven away by the authorities. Take it away quickly, collect it quickly. I am a homeless person with a bicycle. These places are good to shelter from the rain. What's wrong with me staying here for a while? What do you do? Don't talk about what I do. How can you care about what we do? You can't camp here or sleep here. What do you think is the mess here? Collect it quickly. Package your stuff. Hurry up. Will you do it? What are you doing? Don't throw my things around. Don't check who I am. Just do what I tell you. Some residents said, "I am not allowed to live in the bridge tunnels anymore. I have no place to live. Now I can only wander the streets alone. Where can I go?" The Shanghai resident said he lives under the bridge all year round. He told reporters how he solved the problem of bathing and drinking water. To take a bath, I will go down here. This is a barbed wire fence here. I can bend the barbed wire fence, get out and bathe in the river. How long have you lived here? I have lived here for about a week. This is a new base I moved to. I once lived under a bridge for 2 years, and I had lived under many bridges. What about taking a bath in the winter? You can burn firewood and use it to boil water. You see, firewood everywhere. Get the river water and filter it. It's no different from the water you drink. Use that bottle to hold the river water and let it settle first. Let it settle first? Yes, let the water settle first, then poke a few small holes in the bottle, and then pour the water into another bottle. Wrap it with gauze, drain it down, filter it, and it'll become clean water. That's all for today. Please remember to like, subscribe, leave a message, and share it with your friends. We appreciate your support, and we'll see you next time.